Hi, everybody. So, what options are we going to use in this next election? What options? Well, I have one option that I want to propose to you guys. Send the next election out. Exactly what I said. I said the next option that's on the table is we want to sit the next election cycle out. It's an option. Doesn't mean that we're going to have to exercise it. It depends on the politicians. It doesn't depend on you and I. What we're going to do, what you and I have to do, is change this narrative. You and I, it's time that you and I take a stand. It's time for you and I to let them know who's in charge. It doesn't matter who gets in our way. It's time to let them know who's in charge. They're not in charge. You and I are. The power is within you and I, but we have to exercise that power. How do we exercise that power? That's the question. How do we exercise that power? And voting can't just be a status symbol. And that's what we got right now, the status symbol. A lot of the bourgeois black people look at voting as just as a status symbol. It makes them think that they're doing something without really having to do anything. It's a status symbol because they don't even know what a vote is supposed to produce. They don't even know what role politics is meant to play in our lives. And until we get politically mature, we're going to always be conned. Right now, the politicians don't pay attention to you and I. They'll pay attention to the lobbyists, the people that gives them millions of dollars in campaign contributions. And the way that we reverse this system, the way we offset it, we have to become extreme. Intelligently directed extremism. What I mean by that is, don't vote for no one that doesn't give you anything in return for your vote. If they're not willing to give you something in return for your vote, don't just let them tell them that you better vote for them or not. You and I are going to get Donald Trump. No. What we need to tell them is you better represent us or you're going to get your ass kicked by Trump. No longer are we going to let them use fear tactics in order to make us do things that we don't want to do. If you guys want to be in office, if you guys want your job, then you do the things that are going to keep you there. But to be honest, here lately, they've been doing those things to keep them in office. They have. They've been doing the things to keep themselves in office. So I have to be honest. They've been doing the things. They've been supporting the lobbyists who keeps them in office. They've been getting our votes for free because we've shown them that it's okay with us. We've shown them that it's okay, didn't we? We've shown them that it's okay that if they all they have to do is scare us and then scare us and mention the word Trump, we come out running, we vote for them, but we don't even look and see what we're getting in return. Yeah, we want to defeat Trump. We want to defeat anyone that represents Trump, anyone that represents Trump's ideas. But the thing about Donald Trump is he practices what he preaches. He preaches divisions and he practices division. The Democrats preaches unity, but practice division. I have more respect for a man who lets me know where he stands, even if he's wrong. Just like Malcolm said, instead of coming into my face, smiling in my face, and it's nothing but a devil. You see, we need to learn to demand something in return for our vote. A lot of people say, okay, Kendall, the Democrats lose, Republicans win. That could be true, but they're both one and the same. They're both part of the same bird. However, at some point, you have to think that the Democrats will get tired of losing, though, right? At some point, they're going to want to be in power. We have to show them that it's politically suicide to ignore us. And it's actually political responsible and politically smart for them to represent us. We have to change that narrative. We can't get there by voting for them anyway. If we're going to vote for them no matter what, why would they change? I'm going to ask that question again. If we're going to vote for them no matter what they do, what incentive do they have to change? Somebody answer that question for me. I don't think no one can. Also, I want you guys to name one thing in this country that the black man has gotten based on some type of morality basis. Name one advance or gain that the black man in this country has received on morality. Name one thing that the black man has gotten from this country that they didn't give to him because the country's back was against the wall. None. So why in the hell do we think that we can continuously vote for politicians and they're going to one day wake up and change their mind and start valuing us? That is not how this game works. We get there by intelligently directed extremism. I mean, we don't vote for no one unless they share our ideas. You got somebody on the ballot in November you want to vote for? Okay, cool. Check off, boom, vote for him because he represents you and he's going to give you something in return for your vote. You got someone in this position here, neither candidate represents you, neither one represents you. I don't give a, if you have to, write yourself in. Don't vote for them. Over it, done. We're going to show them that you can't just put someone up there and we're going to vote for them anyway. Done. We're not going to do that anymore. We start doing that. We start speaking a language that they understand. Then we'll see some results. By any means necessary, guys. I hate to keep channeling Malcolm, but Malcolm was right. By any means necessary. We're going to make sure that they respect us. We're going to make sure that they also start valuing the black vote and the black man. The DNC chairman said out of his own mouth that they don't value the black vote. His exact words were, and I'm paraphrasing some, that he apologized because Democrats has taken the black vote for granted. Now, his apology was not sincere, but his admittance of guilt was true. It was true. They've taken the black vote for granted, and they go hard as Latino vote, don't they? And they do everything they can to offer them something for that vote. Even if it's something that's not permanent, they give them something for it. What has a black man got? Why in the world do we think that the Democratic Party that's financed by the white power structure is going to actually push a black agenda? Somebody tell me that, please. Why do we think that the Democratic Party that's financed by the white power structure is going to push through a black agenda? Can anyone answer that question? No. No. Especially my people in my community, when it comes to the Democratic Party, we act like someone that's in a bad relationship where they keep getting these knots on their head and they keep telling their friends, it's okay, it's okay. They don't mean it. They love me. No, they don't. No, they don't. Sometimes I'm tired of the bourgeois black people out here using voting as just a status symbol, just to make them feel good. No, we want something in return for our vote. Do you guys want something in return for your vote? I want something in return for my vote. Don't tell me that the lobbyists that gives them millions of dollars in campaign contribution are more valuable than you and I. No one is going to ever convince me that. Patricia, the language that they understand is, we will not vote for you unless you represent us. If you put a candidate that we don't agree with in front of us and try to shove them down our throat and try to use fear tactics of why we shouldn't vote for the other guy, we will sit the election out. That's the language that they understand. Once they see that the people is not going to go for BS, yeah. Because I had someone complaining to me recently that, yes, we should vote, and they won't even give us good candidates. Why in the hell would they give us good candidates when they know that when push comes to shove, we will vote for them no matter what? Why? So that's the language they understand. We'll vote for you if you represent us, and if not, we'll sit the election out. We will pay the cost. Period. I will sit on the sidelines and gladly watch the Democrats lose if they don't represent the people. Because like I said, Donald J. Trump preaches division and he practiced division. The Democrats preach unity but practice division. As Malcolm would say, I got more respect for a man who lets me know what they stand, even if they're wrong. Instead of smiling in my face and it's nothing but a devil. I'm done playing that game, and you guys should be too. We need to learn to realize that politics means we're supposed to get something. It's not something that we just go, it's not just a status symbol where we just go check the box and then we feel happy about it. I feel like we've done something without really doing anything. That's the only way this game is going to change. It's the only way. It's the way the lobbyists do it. People tell me, okay, Killer, not voting doesn't solve the problem. Really? How many of you guys on here, and I know it's probably quite a few of you guys who opposed Hillary Rodham Clinton the last election cycle. How many of you guys on here that did that? I'm one of them, just to be clear. You was pissed off about how they gave her over 500 superdelegates before she even entered the race, weren't you? You were pissed off about it. They just gave them to him. Gave them to her. All the hard work you and I put in to win delegates for Bernie, they just gave Hillary superdelegates. But she was a chosen candidate, right? They modified that some. They don't necessarily just give superdelegates away like that anymore. Now, I don't think they've really completely destroyed it completely, but they have made significant strides. Do you think that happens if you and I had voted for Hillary and the Democrats had won? Do you really think that had happened? You think they'd get rid of that stupid rule then? They don't do that. Why do they get rid of that rule? You're right. It's because you and I said we wasn't going to vote for them. You and I. So they was afraid that we would not come out and vote for them. So they changed that rule because they was afraid that you and I wouldn't come out and vote for them. That's what it did that. Sitting in an election out done that. So don't tell me change doesn't happen when you speak the language that they understand. Patricia, you say our elections nationwide has been gerrymandered by the GOP. We have fight the struggle to have all our citizen votes to count, period. I mean, I don't disagree with that, but how do you want to go about fixing that? How do you want to go about reversing that course? Democrats have done it before in the past, and I get what you're saying. They maneuver you out of power. So even when you can vote, you're voting for nobody. This whole gerrymandering thing. I want to vote. Would I vote in the next election cycle if someone out there was willing to give me something in return for my vote? Of course. Do I feel like I'm getting something in return? It just depends on whatever candidate it is. I'm not telling you that you should sit in an election out, but I'm saying that should be an option. Don't be afraid to sit an election out. Don't let people just, we get nowhere when we just vote for corrupt candidates that we don't agree with. We can't stay on the hamster spinning wheel. We can't stay on the treadmill election cycle after election cycle and say, we got to vote for this person because we got to stop Trump. And then the next election cycle is, we know this person here doesn't mean us nowhere, but we got to vote for them because we got to stop this person. I'm tired of doing that, and you guys should be tired of doing that too. That's the issue that we have in election cycle. After election cycle. So it's possible that I can sit the next election out, or I will write a person in. For example, let's say if Hillary Rodham Clinton ran for president again, she won a nomination. You guys do realize I would not vote for her, right? I would go and write in a candidate, or I would vote third party, or I would just sit it out altogether. Whichever one it takes to send a message. I think you and I sent a message in 2016, but you got a lot of people around here walking around still trying to understand why she lost. I mean, she lost because she sucked. And how much do you have to suck to lose to a racist person that mocks handicapped people? You got to suck pretty bad. One thing too, let me go ahead and mention this too. If anybody that's watching, just make sure you hit the like button and share button, like the page. Also, like my YouTube channel. I put that into the link after the video is done. But this is something that we should talk about. We should demand something in return for our vote. They need to be put on notice that we don't vote for people unless they give us something in return for it. They give us something in return for it, we vote for them. They don't give us something in return, we will stay home. Because voting is not a status symbol. It's not a status symbol where we just go and feel happy about something. It's not a status symbol because status symbols don't get people out of alleys and the ghettos. Status symbols don't stop corrupt cops from blowing unarmed black men in the back. Status symbols don't stop prosecutors from putting people in jail that they know are innocent just to beef up their resume. Status symbols don't stop people from getting put on death row, murdered by prosecutors that know they are innocent. Status symbols don't do that. Status symbols don't get us universal health care. It doesn't stop us from being the only country in the world that does health care the stupid way. Yeah, that's what I said. We do it the stupid way. We're the only one that tries to make a profit off whether someone lives or whether they die. You can go to Canada. You don't even have to take your wallet. If you're a female, you don't have to take your purse. I've had people tell me this. They can just go to the doctor and get taken care of. It's stupid. But people keep wondering why we get these crumbs. Black people are so used to status symbols. They're so used to symbolic measures. Malcolm talked about this. I hate to say Malcolm talked about this, but damn, I mean, the guy was like a prophet, a political prophet. He can see things before they happen. He can see which way the world was going way before it happened. So that's why everything that we talk about and go through is still relevant to the things that he talked about. He talked about token integration. You know, when you're not really getting integration, you're just getting a token. He called it a pacifier. It's when you give someone, it's what you give a baby. When you don't want to give a baby some milk or you don't want to give it food, you give her a pacifier to shut her up or shut him up. And that's what they're doing with you and I. They give us a pacifier. And we accept it. And a lot of the bourgeois black people get mad when people like me or you don't go along with the nonsense. They consider you and I crazy, or they consider you and I too socially conscious, or you and I too socially woke. You see the articles out there. You see the things that they do on the sly to try to call people like you and I out. You know why they do that? Because they don't feel comfortable within themselves. They feel some type of way about the things that we saying. It's like it's calling them out. It's calling them out, and they feel like there's some things that they should be doing or should be speaking out about that they're not speaking out about, so it makes them feel some type of way. But that doesn't bother us. We're not handcuffed by the bourgeois black people. We don't go where the wind blows. We go where we want to go. Nor do we sit and wait to see what everybody else think about something before we form our own opinion about it. We don't do that. We think what we want to think. We form our own opinions. We go where we want to go. We vote for what we want to vote for, if there's something to vote for. If there's not anything on the ballot, we don't have to listen to what society says and vote for something that we don't agree with just to keep the same treadmill going. Or every election cycle, year after year. How you think Trump won? How you think Trump got in office? And a lot of you guys out there who just don't get it, who wants to just criticize people like me, are going to elect Donald Trump again. And I'm going to sit back and I'm going to laugh. I would love to help you take him down, to defeat him in the next election cycle, if you guys would get it, if you guys would understand what the people want. All you guys want is someone other than him to do the exact same thing as him. You just want them to smile in your face while they do it. You just want them to be more nicer when they do the things. Donald Trump preaches division, and he practices division. The Democrats preaches unity, but they practice division. I got more respect for someone who lets me know where they stand, even if they're wrong. Am I going to vote against Donald Trump? We'll see. I'm not going to vote for him, but if there's no one on the ballot that's worth my vote or my time, I'm going to do a write-in vote. Green Party, man, I have to see a ground game from them. I got to see some seriousness. But I live in a write-in state, though, babe. I can just write in somebody. I don't have to be subjected to that kind of nonsense. We don't vote for people just because they say the other person's bad. We don't do that. Michael, we'll vote if we have someone to vote for. If not, we will use any means necessary to make sure the black man gets respect from these politicians. I'm tired of the black man in this country being the only person whose vote is not valued. They'll use it. They'll politically exploit us. They'll do that to us, but they don't honor our vote. They don't value it. The DNC chairman himself admitted to that when he apologized with his fake apology. But his admittance of guilt was serious. So what are we going to do about that? We need some confidence in ourselves. We need to go through re-education. We need to know what a politics supposed to produce. We need to stop being so quick to go register voters without voters' education. Do not ask me to go help register any voters, because I'm not going to do it unless we have a system where we are educating voters also. Now, what I will do is educate people and tell them to demand something in return for their vote, or else. I'm not saying that you should be violent or mean. I'm saying that we tell them what we must have, or else. The else is we will sit at home and watch you lose. This is not our job. Here's my problem, especially with some of the bourgeois black people. They'll criticize people like you and I for not wanting to support his oppressor. But they never go to the oppressor and tell them to stop exploiting us because we may not vote for them. You get that, guy? Okay, think about that. Think about the slave. Think about that. Think about the house nigger. The house nigger criticizing the field Negroes because they don't want to deal with the master anymore. Think about that. The house niggers criticizing the field Negroes because they no longer want to deal with master and they want to escape. They want to escape. Instead of them going to the master and telling the master to maybe these guys should be treated a little bit better, maybe we can do a little bit more for them, they don't do that. They criticize the oppressed instead of criticizing the oppressors. So if you bourgeois black people out there want Trump not in office, you want Republicans out of office, then maybe you should go and talk to the people that are actually oppressing us. Go and talk to the people that are actually not representing us. Encourage them to represent us. Encourage them to give us what we need for our vote instead of criticizing us. What in the hell would I look like criticizing those sheep from running away from the wolf? Why? The wolf is steady oppressing the sheep, but I go to the sheep and tell the sheep that you are wrong for this. You're immature. You should go and be the bigger person. First off, the American people, it's not their job to be bigger than their elected officials. It is not their job. It is not our job to cuddle corrupt politicians. Period. It's not enough to get a seat at the table. We need to get results and get some gains back. Otherwise, we're sealing our own faith. Okay, Patricia. You're right. It's not enough to get a seat at the table. That's not a status symbol. But we have to have the right candidates that are willing to represent the people. We have to have the right candidates that are willing to support a black agenda also, because we've never had one in this country. But my thing is, how do you get there? By voting for the same people that say, vote for me, Trump is bad. How does that get any kind of meaningful reforms? I don't think it does. The only way we get there is if these people know that if they don't do the things that we need them to do, that we will not vote for them. But we don't have enough people on board willing to do that. Most people are talking about what's going to happen if we don't vote for them. Most people are not really down for a revolution either. There are only a few people down for a revolution, because there is not a revolution in that is not without bloodshed. There's not a revolution to where you beg this system of exploitation to integrate you into it. There's not a revolution to where you beg the oppressed to continue to support their oppressors. That is not a revolution. A revolutionist willing to be able to pay the cost and willing to be able to deal with the consequences. That's how you get a revolution. That's how America was built. That's one of the ways America was built. It was also built through slavery, but the forefathers that was tired of taxation without representation got tired and told that British Empire, give me liberty or give me death. That's how we got here. That's how. They didn't sit around talking about, well, if we do this, what's going to happen? This is going to happen. They was tired of taxation without representation. You and I should be tired of not being valued. We should be tired of that. Okay, Patricia, you say, no, it's not an option. It's saying that you're too lazy to get involved to try to make a difference. Every vote counts. You don't vote, your friends don't vote, we lose. We stand on the graves of all those who fought so hard for us to gain the right to vote, and all the black men who gained the right before children who were made to feel like children. Again, voting is, I'm not saying that you don't vote. I'm saying you don't vote if there's not an option. You're supposed to get something for it. That's what I'm saying. If you're not getting anything in return for your vote, don't vote. Think about this. Let me ask you this, Patricia. I'm going to ask you this. Are the lobbyists any better than you? Are the lobbyists that gives them the big campaign contribution, are they any more valuable than you? Because the politicians know if they don't pass laws for those lobbyists that gives them those campaign dollars, they don't get them. So they have time to stop and value them. So shouldn't they be thinking, okay, if I don't do this for Patricia, she's not going to vote for me. I'm going to lose her vote. That's what I'm trying to get us on. I'm trying to get us to take a stand through intelligently directed extremism. Be willing to sit an election out if you have to. This is what it has come to. It's not going to be easy. It's not pretty. But I'm not going to be politically exploited no longer. My people have been politically exploited for a half century. Malcolm talked about this, and it's still going on. Voting for them anyway doesn't change it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Have a great day. Peace, and I'm out.